Alright guys, continuing with chapter 7, take 2, because people keep fucking interrupting me. But you get to find out what happened to Mally in this one, so here we go. The hand of a stranger checking for vital signs jerked me to consciousness. My eyes fluttered open as I drew in a startled breath. "Hey man, are you alright?" Their voice echoed. "Yeah." I sat up, rubbing my face, struggling to view the man through swollen eyes. "You're pretty banged up. Did you wreck your bike? Is there someone that I can maybe call for you?" I sat in anguish, shaking my head no. From the suspicion etched across the man's face, knowing what truly happened was apparent. As helpful, and this guy seemed to be very nice, his persistence to aid only annoyed me greater. He assisted me to my feet, sympathizing with compassion by dusting the dirt from my clothing. "Look, if you need anything, here's my card. All of my information is on it. Please, do not hesitate." I stared down at the business card while clutching my ribs from excruciating pain. "Thanks." My voice crackled. Watching him stroll into the store, I glanced back down at the card. Of course, the help I just denied was from a damn attorney. I shoved it deep into my pocket, limping towards my bike. Charlie sure did a number on it. Minus the flattened tire, he busted my mirrors off and did in most of its body. I wasn't sure if I was more upset about how I was going to get it all fixed up in the attempt of explaining everything to my father, or the fact that I had to push the bastard 3 miles home. Either way, my father wouldn't extol the fact that I took my ass beating like a man should. On the torturous walk home, I stopped every few minutes trying to grin and bear the pain just to catch a simple breath. All of the pain my body was feeling made me want to shove my bike over and say "fuck it" and cower to the ground like a wounded dog. A mile and a half through my journey, I spotted Trent's truck in the far-off distance. I prayed it was some sort of mirage my helpless mentality had conjured up. Oh, thank God. I grimaced, swallowing a pool of blood. Trent slammed on his brakes, immediately jumping out to tend to my every need. Johnny's car came screeching up right behind him. "Hey, Malice, Nikki called me. What in the fuck happened to you?" he panted. "Nikki?" My voice kirked. "Yeah, apparently Charlie came home with busted knuckles, bragging about how he whooped your ass, but he wouldn't tell her where he fucking left you, alive or barely alive or some shit." "Jesus fuck, Malice. Look at you, and you're damn. Your bike is ruined," Johnny added. "I think my ribs are broken." I felt winded. "You want us to take you to the hospital?" "With what money, Trent? The bastard torched my damn check." His eyes enlarged as the muscles in his jaw ticked beneath the surface. Mixed emotions were marked upon everyone's faces. Personally, I just wanted to cry and hug my brothers for coming to my rescue. I swear to God, Charlie has no fucking idea what he just started. I can take some bullshit bottle rocket to the face, but hurt one of my brothers? "It's on now," Johnny proclaimed. "Can we just please get me home?" "Of course." Trent gripped my shoulder affectionately. "I'll have Colton call Tiffany to see if she can't come over and get you sewn up." I lined the backseat of Johnny's car while they loaded up my bike and Trent's truck. Luckily, Tiffany showed up just as we were pulling into my driveway. The guys had her sneak me into my bedroom while they unloaded my bike. In the process of dressing my wounds, a light tap echoed through my plywood door. My heart fell to my stomach as my posture froze. "Mally, is that you?" "Shit. It's my mother," I whispered. No sooner did she open the door, with her eyes wide, mouth agape. "Oh my heavens! What in God's name happened to you?" She rushed over to me. "Mother, I'm fine. I just got jumped by some drunken assholes down at the gas station." "No, you are certainly not fine. Look at you, and your face," she sighed. "You're nearly unrecognizable, and you're covered in bruises." I don't know who they were. It just happened so fast. I lied only because I didn't want Charlie getting off easy with having my mother calling the police. I needed time to ponder, contemplate the plot of perfection for my unforeseen revenge. What Charlie did to me was a bitch move. Though it may have been fearless handing my ass to me in the eyes of the public, I wanted to make him feel twice the pain he had caused me. I just didn't need a fucking audience. On a side note, who's your friend, dear? "Oh, apologies, ma'am. I'm Tiffany. I work with your son." "What a pretty girl." From then on, my mother helped Tiffany in getting me cleaned up, dosing me heavily with some pain medication. It wasn't until 2 a.m. that I woke up vomiting blood. To my surprise, Tiffany was lying next to me in a comforted slumber. My weakness had me rolling over onto the floor, heaving up my guts. "Shit!" Tiff awoke, disgruntled with panic. "Malice, I'm taking you to the emergency room. No exceptions. You're showing signs of internal bleeding." Tiffany rushed me to her car, hauling ass to the hospital. Her speed made the streetlights strobe against the glass in which caused dizziness. All I remember from there was a bunch of nurses running towards me as I collapsed through the automatic doors. 3 days later, a light dither tickled across my forearm, causing my eyes to flutter open as the room came into focus. "Hey, babe, how are you feeling?" Tiffany asked, gripping my hand. "Sore." I attempted to smile, but other than that, I'm okay. "Where are all the guys?" "They actually just left about an hour ago. Oh, and your friend Nikki came in to see you like twice." My saliva caught up in my throat mid-swallow. I wasn't sure how I felt about that shit. "Did she say anything?" "Not really. She just claimed she was an old friend of yours. Having heard about your incident, she wanted to make sure that you were okay. She seemed sweet and sincere when it came to your regards. Poor girl was just in tears the first night she visited." Interest had sparked my wonder. Did Nikki actually feel that hysteric, or was this just another dramatic presentation she handcrafted just to fuck with me even more? "She did? Was that all?" I became nervous. "Pretty much. She hardly spoke to me past an introduction. I do know that Trenton pulled her into the hallway when he saw her. I'm unsure on what they discussed, and then again, I don't really care. So if you want to know, ask Trenton. Anyway, it's been over 72 hours since your arrival. They had to do surgery on your abdomen to stop the bleeding. One of your ribs punctured the outer layer of your liver. Merely fatal. They said it was cutting it close and that you were very lucky. I'm just glad that you're okay." To break our conversation, a nurse came in to check the healing of my stitches. I had about 14 where they had made the incision. Trent came in not too long after with Colton lagging behind. "Hey, big shot. Glad to see your pretty face," Trent smiled. "I got you another check made and figured since you were going to be laid up in bed for a few weeks that, you might need some type of entertainment. So the guys and I all went in on buying you a laptop. You desperately need to get with the times, bro." "No way. Thanks, guys. That's pretty fucking awesome." "Try not to cry, Mally. Consider it a get well present," Colton added. I enjoyed one last night of morphine before the hospital released me the very next afternoon. My parents didn't bother showing up, which was no surprise. It felt kind of nice being able to just relax for a few days doing nothing but smoking pot and trying not to crash my laptop from watching too much porn. Tiffany had me stay at her place until I was able to get up and maneuver about myself. She claimed that my own mother had suggested it'd be best. I later realized exactly why. My father, and the fact that he must have been beyond pissed off seeing my bike torn to all hell. Surfing the web, I decided to create an account on Photomac, since everyone else seemed to have had one. I searched for some friends, sending requests and tagging myself in a few photos from Trent's page. I didn't bother uploading a recent picture, since I currently looked like I had lost a fight against Mike Tyson. I came across Tiff's page and tagged myself in that very same picture we took at her house party. The realistic validation from the internet that Nikki made a peeved reference to. When I went to Colton's page, I skimmed through his friends, finding people I knew until my search landed me right on Sky Riley's photo. I pressed my lips together, contemplating whether I should profile creep or not. So I did it anyway. I found myself gawking all over her photos. From the looks, she seemed very outgoing and kind of hipster. It had been a few weeks since I had seen her on Colton's page that day at Johnny's. She didn't have any personal information on her site, but from her pictures I could identify that she had lived in Chicago. She had a few piercings and a decent amount of tattoos as well. Her platinum blonde hair had a crazy blue-purple frost to it, although her pictures didn't enclose on her tattoos, so I couldn't really see what they were all of. I did recognize one only because it took up the majority of her right forearm, which was an owl harboring a heart with a keyhole in its center. The photos captured her blowing smoke made me laugh to myself. At least she smoked a little and enjoyed living life. Most of her photos displayed hidden charisma yet very apparent beauty in which I wouldn't mind getting to know in the slightest, so I impulsively sent her a friend request. I only gave myself a few days to rest before I got my ass out of bed, forcing myself back to work with Trenton. I was kind of upset that I had missed out on going to Bree's pool party. I would have chosen that over getting my ass beat any day. Trent reassured that I didn't miss much beyond bullshit and a good truck fuck. It has been a good while since Trent has shown interest in a girl, all thanks to his ex-girlfriend Jessie, the bitch who fucked his entire world up. After he tore his knee during football, Trent was permanently out due to having surgery and physical therapy. Jessie didn't appear to be too into him much after that. She was a bitch any damn way, partially because not even a month after they broke up, her ass was fucking around with our quarterback, Jaco DeCina. I'll never forget the day Trenton found out. He unleashed his uncontrollable rage that was produced by so many months of taking steroids. His anger landed him in the principal's office for bouncing Jaco's head off a damn locker and knocking his ass out. His coach backed him up, stating that Trent was emotionally unstable due to his injury and loss of his scholarship, which luckily kept him from expulsion. He had to suffer a month of after-school detention, but it didn't seem to faze him. As long as he held the satisfaction of knowing that he got his point across, Trent was content with his punishment. Coming back to work, Trent filled me in on our next project. We were in the process of constructing a small bean pool for an older woman who lived behind a country club. Looking into the water of a man-made lake, it amazed me on how well-off people actually lived. Hell, I doubt I'd ever see that much money in my life, but I was equipped enough to try. Our estimated time to completion was 3 to 4 days. It's almost stupid how much time we actually spend digging up the dirt more so than anything else. After work that night, I packed up my things at Tiffany's, having her drive me home. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't scared shitless. For once, I was actually praying for my father to be drunk and passed out. "You gonna be okay?" Tiff asked before I got out. "It's my father. I know how he is." "Yeah, but you also have never had your motorcycle get busted up and then you disappear for a few days either." I just sighed because I knew she was right. I didn't know how I was going to react. I had to eventually come home sooner or later. "I'll text you." "Thanks for everything, Tiff, seriously." I smiled. I quietly shut her door, acting like an alley cat as I moved in a furtive manner to my front door. I could see the light from the television through the front blinds. As I opened the door, there sat my father in his recliner, with his eyes wide open. I gently closed the door without him even acknowledging me. Walking in front of him, our eyes met. At first, he remained silent, so out of respect, I greeted him first. "Hey, Dad, how was your day?" My bones rattled within as he took a sip from his glass of whiskey. He licked his lips, setting it down on the end table. My mother sat adjacent, curled up, sleeping on the couch. "Fine. Where have you been these past few days?" "At a friend's house." I swallowed hard. He pressed his lips together with a hum. His eyes squinted as if he already had the truth figured out in his mind. "Don't you be lying to me, boy." His voice tightened. "I'm not, sir. I stay with the girl that I work with. Her name's..." Before I could even finish, my father quickly became abrupt. "A girl? Now why in the fuck would you go and do something stupid such as that? Did you not learn from a few years back when you knocked up that girl, Nikki?" I breathed in deeply through my nostrils, puffing my cheeks. "Yes, but it isn't like that." "It isn't like that?" he says. "Then what exactly is it like, Malice?" He stood to his feet. The harshness in his voice awoke my mother. She glanced in between us as if she had no clue where she was. I mean, who was I kidding? I was fucking Tiff, but wasn't trying to get caught up in another baby scare situation. "What are you yelling at that poor boy for now, Jeremy?" "Beth, you stay out of this. Matter of fact, did you happen to know about Malice staying with this girl? And what the fuck happened to your motorcycle? That shit is gonna cost a fortune to fix. Why are you always out causing shit and making messes, damn it?" "Yes, Jeremy, I did know," she sighed. My parents began arguing back and forth about why my mother didn't inform him of my whereabouts. In a strange way, I think he kind of was worried about me. "I got jumped," I yelled over them. They both stopped and looked at me. My father turned on the lamp, snatching me by the face. He examined me in disbelief until he saw my healing wounds, before flinging my face away. "Why?" he huffed. "I don't know. I went to cash my check and it just happened. By the way, here's some money." I pulled out a stack of $800. As much as I hated giving it up, I knew they needed it more than I did. I could see my mother's breath remain caught up in her throat, looking directly at my father. He stared at it like he didn't even know what to do with it. When I turned to walk towards my bedroom, I felt his hand grip my shoulder, swinging me around to face him. "This had better not be collected from you involving yourself with illegal activity, Malice," he warned. It didn't. He then released my arm, letting me continue on. I couldn't swallow properly until I was safe behind my door. I dropped my book bag onto the floor, face planting my bed. I took in another smothered breath to slow my heart rate. Within 10 minutes I spent preparing for my nightly ritual of rolling a joint. I began to write in my journal. "Generally, the wise ones said, good things come to those who wait." Or, in the words of William Langland, patience is a virtue. If we spend our entire life waiting for something, how will we ever know when it actually arrives? Are we so self-righteous and naive that we can't just simply appreciate what we already do have? No, because most of us are unable to admit our selfishness. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? I feel we all have a goal set in life. We try so hard in reaching it, though we may never come close. Life is too short to assume that what we were given was not enough, for the trials and tribulations that we face are too much. The truth of the matter is that no one is ever truly satisfied. Why? Because we will forever seem to want something more. I'll be back to continue the rest of this chapter momentarily.